Hello guys, guys and everything else, this is another Cargouide video, and this time I'm going to be covering Ranger from Pathfinder 2nd edition. Just remember about smashing that subscribe button, because I'm going to just go over it on Nephis and just tell you what I recommend for the Ranger and tell you about the overall stuff with the Ranger. So, yet again, I'll always essentially tell you to just get 18 in your max stat and 14 in con. And probably also try to put some points into other stats. Into like two other stats that you will be using. But over here I won't tell you a strict code, because once again, strength or dexterity to choose. Now 10 plus con is a pretty good modifier. Now, just like fighter, you start as an expert in perception, fortitude, reflex, and just strength in will. But unlike fighter, you get nature and survival for free and 4 skills plus your intelligence modifier. Also, unlike fighter, you get weapons only up to martial and just training in them, and you only get up to medium armor. But don't worry, you can fix it with just a sentinel dedication. Of course, if you're going for a melee ranger. Now, you have hunt prey as your action. Well, it just gives you +2 bonus to survival checks to track your prey, and perception checks to seek your prey. And you can have only you can only have one prey at a time. So that's pretty much it. Also we have Hunter's Edge, which, well, hunt prey so far seems like a bad option, Bad option. Just doesn't seem to make up for, worse armor and enemies being harder to hit. But we have Hunter's Edge that will not really hopefully, but it will somewhat fix it. Now let's skip to actual feats that are actually stuff that really matters and is not just a preset for pretty much every character. Iron Will, you get expert in will saves, that's pretty good. Now, you will also get Ranger Weapon Expertise. That will essentially just give you expert, which is just +2 to hit in weapons. Trackless Step, so yeah, it's hard to track you. You just always cover track if you're moving at half your speed. And that's pretty good if someone is hunting for you. And that's way better if you're going for like a villain. NPC. And evasion, yeah, reflex to master, and of course, like with every saving throw that increases to master, you also get a critical success instead of if you roll a success. Now, vigilance senses. You get master at perception. Yeah, you will be even better at seeing stuff. Weapon specialization, so essentially +2 damage if you're expert, +3 damage if you're master, and +4 if you're legendary. But you will only ever get to master as a ranger, at least to my knowledge. If you're not dual classing into fighter, of course, or gunslinger. Now, Nature's Edge. So yeah, if enemy is like in some sort of natural difficult terrain, they're flat-footed. Or terrain that is resulting from, like a snare. But now, I'm kind of wondering, if you don't know what a snare is over here, um, just have your whole thing. Snares are essentially just traps. So yeah, I'm kind of wondering if, for example, like Druid uses some sort of spell, natural spell, primal spell, to cast it, would it actually work? Um, you probably are asking yourself the same thing if you are planning to play a ranger with a druid in your team, because why wouldn't you? These are like the two coolest classes, and monk is like right behind them. Um, but you would need to speak to your GM about this. Now, ranger expertise. So yeah, you just they get expertise in ranger class DC, and probably also like ranger spell DCs. Because ranger also gets like spells, but none of these spells actually like require an attack roll. They're usually just buffs, like gravity weapon that will just essentially increase your damage. Juggernaut, we all know mastering fortitude saves and crits instead of normal successes. The armor expertise, expert in armor, but you don't get any specialization effects. Wild strides, well now, you just ignore the effects of non-magical difficult terrain. And then, yeah, it would be way better if it would just be all difficult terrain, but yeah, you can have everything. You cannot have everything. Now, weapon mastery. You won't get mastery in weapons. Greater weapon specialization, you double the bonus you got from weapon specialization. Improved evasion, you get actually legendary in reflex, and yeah, it just improved, and you get like legendary. And if you roll and like with all legendary saves, just you get a failure instead of a critical failure if you roll. And also half damage on like damaging effects from reflex saves, which are almost all reflex saves are just damaging effects. And yeah, that half damage is just like a success. So yeah, you just increase the degrees of success by one. If you have this automatically, it's just like automatic effects of a nat 20. Now, incredible success, senses. Another legendary saving throw. I'm not this time saving throw, it's perception. It's just like a separate thing from skills and saving throws. So sorry, I'm kind of tired. Even though it's morning, I get a little sometimes tired in the morning, especially on like Sundays. Now, incredible senses. Well, oh yeah, I already told you that. And masterful hunter. As you can see, if you have master in perception, you gain +4 to seek your prey. And if you have master in survival, you get +4 to track your prey. And also benefit depending on your subclass yet again. Second skin. You treat all armor that you have as flexible. Up to medium. Pretty much. And swift prey. Yeah, you can just use hunt prey as your free action. Yeah, that's pretty good actually. And now Hunter's Edge, and then we go to Fits. Hunter's Edge, first one is Flurry. So essentially, you reduce multiple attack penalties by 2. Yeah, normally you would get 5, now you get 3, and 4 with Agile, so you get 2. Same with the second one, where um, with just like normal weapon, normal attack, you will get like -10, but you know, you reduce by -2 on first and reduce by -2 at second, and it's 6. And 4 with agile because, yet again, agile reduction. And Masterful Hunter, which is at level 17, which is when you get these senses. Well, you reduce all of the things yet again by 1, which is actually like super good, especially since which is super good, especially if you're going for a ranged to like fighter, like ranger that works at range, mm, like with a bow. By that I mean, because or any weapon with reload 0, like a halfling sling stuff, any sling, a lot of slings, and like also just bows. Just as long as it has a reload 0, then it's pretty good. And for that, because you'll be able to get like one special feat later that, like at level 1 already, you'll be able to get one special feat. Now outwit. If you're playing a ranger at melee, then you know, you get +1 to AC and it will increase to +2. And also deception, intimidation, and also stealth checks will increase even further. Now precision. You know, crossbows. You know how crossbows work. Crossbows are pretty good, and this is especially good against like ranged weapons yet again. Because even though this flurry is great on ranged weapons, it is also great with a greatsword. But over here, precision is mostly about like just boosting damage by just flat number of damage dice, which is not even relevant to your normal damage. So it is especially good on like weapons that don't deal a lot of damage by themselves, straight up, like ranged weapons. So yeah, flurry is like the best one for everything. Just jack of all trades ability. Outwit is the one that is just straight up max melee, and precision is the one that is max at range. It will deal like about a d8 of additional damage, and it will increase to 2d8 at level 11 and at 19 to 3d8. But that you also at level 17 on your second strike during a turn, it will increase to 1. You will get on your second strike 1d8, and at 19th on your second strike you will get 2d8, and third will deal 1d8 yet again, which once again that kind of defeats a purpose of using this on a crossbow. But if you're using a bow, then it's pretty good. I mean, up to like level until level 17, it's really great on a crossbow. It's kind of clunky on a crossbow later. And now it's useless on a crossbow at like level 19. But on like your normal bow, it is pretty good. But also it works kind of on agile weapons, and the chance that you will actually land 3 strikes is not really all that high. So I would definitely say, even though personally I thought at first that outwit would be like the weakest one of them all, because it gives you bonuses to skills rather than just combat things. Actually, combat wise, outwit is way more useful. with your bonus to AC, especially if you're playing at melee. Um, so yeah, now for your weapons. If you're going for um, if you're going for like pretty much any range, like flary ranger, you have like three great options. Like um, first is um, picking something like just a large great weapon or something like this, you know, like a great weapon, like for example a great sword, great axe, um, or like any weapon, any melee weapon that deals d12 damage. Um, if you're going for, of course, for a melee build, if you're using if you're going for a weapon build, then I recommend that you pick a warhammer in one hand, and in your second hand, you pick some sort of dagger or a light mace. Why actually like a warhammer or something? I mean, you are free to like pick a longsword or pretty much anything, as long as you have like in one of your hands you have a weapon that deals a d8 of damage, and in second hand you have like an agile weapon. Then as long as you have that it's cool. But personally, I think that hammers are like the best weapons for 200 weapon stuff. For 200 weapon stuff. Um, just having like any weapons in like any two weapons in like the just Warhammer pulls like a light hammer. This is the best thing. Now outwit is the best if you're playing like a ranger with a shield, because you not only just get normal bonus to AC, but also if you pick like your sentinel dedication, then you will actually be pretty good. Be pretty good at defending. You'll be as good as at defending as a champion without just your without your special reactions. But you'll still have like usefulness outside of combat. That one is that one outwit is especially good if you're going for the sentinel dedication, be, to dump some of the, to dump some of your like dexterity for charisma, and precision is not really all that good unless you're just like picking agile weapons or a bow. Yeah, actually, let's actually search up what would be the best weapon for like precision ranger. Um, so yeah, for traits you'll need to pick agile trait. So yeah, perfect weapon for that ranger would be probably agile. And now weapons, and we go to like a bow, maybe bow weapon group. No, they're not. There are not bows. Just as long as it's range and agile, then it should be pretty good. So yeah, you need to waste your action to reload. So yeah, here you have like shuriken. Shuriken are the best option. Shuriken are actually like the best option you can have for your ranger. If you're playing a precision ranger. So yeah, you can actually like roleplay a ninja type character really well. So yeah. Also, yeah. If you're playing a ranged ranger, then just like take a leather armor because you'll probably have +4 dex, so it will actually max out your dex as much as possible. And then take height armor if you're, you know, like more of a strength based ranger probably. Then you should take height armor, I think. Um, or maybe a breastplate instead of that. But if you're playing like a ranger that you want to get with sentinel dedication for some heavy armor, then yeah, I recommend full plate for that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Remember, that's just my guide, and try to walk your own path. You're freaks of nature.